Hi students, let's continue our lesson with dissolution process of ionic solids. Dissolution is the process by which solid forms a solution in a solvent. Most ionic compounds are soluble and dissolve in water to form solutions. Dissolving ionic solid in water produces measurable heat change. Heat change during dissolution of solid ionic compound is either exothermic or endothermic. Enthalpy of solution is defined as heat change when 1 mole of solid ionic compound dissolves in solvent, which is water, to form an infinite dilute solution. For example, when 1 mole of solid sodium chloride dissolves, 4 kilojoule energy must be absorbed for the process to occur. What happens when solid sodium chloride dissolves in water? In the solid sodium chloride, the sodium ions and chloride ions are held together by strong electrostatic forces. But when a small crystal of sodium chloride dissolves in water, the crystal lattice breaks into sodium ion and chloride ions. The separated sodium ions and chloride ions are stabilized in solution by interaction with water molecules. These ions is said to be hydrated. The solution process takes place in 2 steps. First, breaking down of the crystal lattice into isolated gaseous ions. Sodium ions and chloride ions in the solid crystal are separated from each other and converted to gaseous state. Energy must be absorbed for this process to occur. Energy required to completely separate 1 mole of a solid ionic compounds into gaseous ions is called lattice energy. In this example, the lattice energy of sodium chloride is 788 kilojoule per mole. In other words, 788 kilojoule of energy must be absorbed to break 1 mole of solid sodium chloride into 1 mole of sodium gaseous ions and 1 mole of chloride gaseous ions. Next, the hydration of separated gaseous ions by water molecules. Gaseous sodium ions and chloride ions enter the water. Each ion will be surrounded by water molecules and become hydrated. In this example, when 1 mole of sodium gaseous ion and 1 mole of chloride gaseous ions hydrated, 784 kilojoule energy or heat was released. The energy cycle diagram of the process of dissolution of sodium chloride is as follows. Enthalpy of hydration is defined as heat released when 1 mole of gaseous ion is hydrated in aqueous solution. By applying Hess's law, the enthalpy of solution is the sum of lattice energy of sodium chloride and enthalpy of hydration of chloride ions and sodium ion. In this example, the enthalpy of solution of sodium chloride is +4 kilojoule per mole. Thus, when 1 mole of solid sodium chloride dissolves in water, 4 kilojoule of heat or energy will be absorbed from surroundings. Alright students, we will continue the next subtopic in the next video. Thank you.